G'day, welcome back to another episode of Togl. We've got a big episode this week, putting in some of our veggie patch, and I had a track that I needed to clear. The track down the river had a few trees across it, so I do a little bit of clearing of that. As I said on the last episode, we have Cody and his girlfriend Grace moving in with us, so we went and picked them up. So let's introduce the new members of the Togl crew. We've got Grace and Cody, my son.
How's it going?
All right, so we right now are at the Mole Creek Hotel. We're going to have some lunch here, and then we're going to head up and go and have a look at some of the caves. So let's just wander into Mole Creek and we'll go grab some lunch.
A good mate of mine, Steve Cornelius, was telling me that his dad's jersey hangs over the bar here, and this is it. He found it.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, so it's bigger. What? I see it. That's kind of funny. We should pull it on the bigger.
So we're just going to head out and have a look around the beer garden. So out here they will do during summertime like Day on the Green, have musicians and that.
It's not a day on the green anymore. Day at the creek.
Day at the creek, there you go. So when's the next one? Well, that was this year's one. So, but hopefully they'll run one next year. It'll be a fantastic atmosphere out here, I reckon. So, first time in Tassie, you two. You've been here a couple of days. What do you reckon?
It's a bit cold.
It is a little chilly. Awesome. Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Beautiful, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
just look at that. Like, you can't beat that.
It is beautiful
You
indeed.
look, yeah. Anyway, you look pretty awesome.
She's a bit wild and woolly today, a bit cold. They actually had snow on the ranges. You can't really see through that cloud, but there is snow up there. Well, this is the visitor centre where you come to get your tickets to look at the caves. There's two sets of caves. There's Maricopa Cave, which is just a minute up the road here, and then 10k down the road you've got King Solomon's Mines. So we're going to go to the Maricopa Cave first, check that out. We've got a tour guide to take us around that, and once we're done with that one we're going to head down to King Solomon's, and then we're going to do a second tour going through King Solomon's Mines. I believe that photography and everything is allowed in the caves, so hopefully I'll get to show you some pretty stunning footage of the caves. Hopefully it's well lit enough inside that you can see that. I know the GoPros don't film that great in the dark, but we'll see how we go.
may not necessarily be able to answer them, but I'll try.
Well, that was a really cool cave. Now we're going to drive down the road. We're going to go to King Solomon's Cave and go and check that one out. Awesome.
I see things that remind me of.
I'm really on that one.
I'm not alone there, I know. Down here is the giant's finger.
I want the tag.
That's his finger with his fingernail.
Reaching up from the ground.
This one.
Oh,
it's his
yeah.
giant's
Oh, my
finger.
Yeah.
That's the giant's fingers. Just his fingernail. And they grow that way because with each droplet of water that comes through, being the same diameter, once that water evaporates, a ring of crystal forms around the outside of the drop.
Yeah.
A lot of things in here that have theories around how they grew or why they grow that way. It's not totally 100% clear, but you can see them there as you come past. So a lot of people think that this polyping and how that affects the way the minerals form.
Try and get a photo.
Up in here, up above the first couple, you've got some matted extensions coming down. These are actually plant roots. Now the river that once ran through here would have flowed down to the left there.
Oh, it's the same there.
And we think that its source, it was the melting water from a glacier. So once that melted out, this became a dry system. It is. So that, you know, what we've got happening here is these spaces were originally just cracks running through the rock. And water had just seeped in there, and being slightly acidic, that water's dissolved the limestone to create the space. And then since then, all this crystals come down the way.
Looks like a big, like, beehive.
So it's nothing like this.
This is very active. I think that's the thing about West Australian cases, they're drying up.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are still very active. Now folks, when you look at this stuff, what's your impression? Heavy or light?
Very heavy.
It's always good to have one. Look at that, the light shining through those beautiful bands of colour. Now, if no one's mentioned it, so obviously no one's seen it. Big fractures in this colour.
It's formed.
Overlapped.
So these beautiful rippled edges essentially are what we call brimstone dams. And a lot of the longer rippled edges are the formation that occurs when you have flowing mineral water across this surface. Let's say that water flow, concentrating the minerals at the edge where they start to grow on the edge of what's already there. It's just amazing. I must admit the colour of this reminds me of those big
Could be a 3-hour trek.
Really?
Well, that's it for the King Solomon mine. That was really interesting too. Some of the structures in there are just absolutely incredible, like beautiful. I would love to show you so much more, but obviously, you know, we were in that cave for 45 minutes and we've only got so much time. So I highly recommend, if you're coming up into the northwest, you can get up to Mole Creek area, come and have a look at these caves. They're amazing. There are other tours as well. There's a tour for the Cathedral Cave, which is back at Maricopa. We'll have to come back and have a look at that one another day. So that's it for us today. We are going to head back home. Well, we're back up the block, as you can probably hear and see. It's quite windy up here. Sorry about the audio on all that last bit of footage with the caves and whatnot. Hopefully I've got that fixed now. I'm pretty sure I do, but I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. Anyway, right.
Well, the audio was getting worse, so I'm just going to do a voiceover. So Cody saw on the classifieds that someone had all these grapevines, which I'll show you now. So we were able to trade a carload of firewood, which Cody came up and cut. So it didn't take too long, and it obviously cost us nothing. So he was able to organise a trade to trade that timber for over 60 Sauvignon Blanc grapevines. And they're a couple of years old, and they're all bare rooted. So let's have a look at them. So Cody is moving them across from the car into the trailer. They're a really good size. Turns out they're actually around 10 to 15 years old, Cody said. So we've got ourselves a vineyard. Guess what we're going to spend the weekend doing? Digging holes and putting these in the ground. So for now, they're just going to sit up here for the next few days. We'll put a blanket over them and wet it down just to keep the roots moist. We're expecting rain over the next few days as well. So then we will get up here on the weekend when the weather's supposed to be finer, and then we can start planting. Okay, one of the other tasks that we had to do while we were up here is get the blades off the slasher so that we can give them another grind and sharpen up. We're going to need this slasher to clear the area where we want to put the grapevines on the weekend. Cody and I have just flipped this over, and with 2 people it was easy, very easy. Not like last time when you saw me do it, we just flipped it. So I just got to, like I showed you last time, I just got to pull this pin out, and then I can take this nut off, and this whole assembly will come off. And as you can see, I've hit other rocks and bits and pieces, and it's pretty badly chewed up. So we'll get them off and get them fixed. Put that back in there and I won't lose it, hopefully. What happened with this was there was the chains hanging off this, which were a safety thing. When the tractor was delivered back in January, this was attached to the back of the tractor, and the chains had got hooked up onto the trailer, onto the flatbed of the truck that was delivering it. So when the guy went to take the tractor off, if you go back to that very first video, you'll see him lift the slasher and put it down a couple of times. The chain was caught. And what it did was it pulled all this out of shape. So we thought while it's flipped over, bit of bush mechanics, we'll try and straighten it back out again. It's pretty close. That's not bad, so I just need to bend that down a bit more. That should have done.
Just cut out this middle bit, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And as you can see behind me, all the blackwoods are in really big flower now. Spring has well and truly sprung. Masses of flowers.
And then right here, another one of our pepperberry trees. That one's just starting to come into flower now. Looking down there, lots more blackwoods all in flower. We had a really nice warm day today. It's absolutely beautiful down here. Kay and Cody just putting the tractor away for the afternoon. So we're just going to head across to another part of the block where we want to put the vineyard in, go and scope that out, work out where we're going to put them. So see you over there in a second. Some down low. So yeah, we'll just run a couple of rows through this area. Should look really nice. And the reason I've chosen this is because this slope faces that way and that way is north. It's also elevated compared to the trees that are down there behind. As you can see, the trees are down there a lot lower, which means that sun's going to come up. That early morning sun is going to hit this slope. This is probably one of the areas that gets the first sunlight on our block in the day. Makes it a perfect area to put those grapevines, because the grapes do like all day sun. Well, here they should get basically all day sun because it's unobstructed. So yeah, I think it's going to be really scenic, and I reckon this is going to be the spot. So we'll pop back up here on the weekend. Those slasher blades will be sharp so I can slash all this down, and Cody and I will get the post holes going, get some posts put in, run some wires, get the grapevines put in. So that'll be the task. It's probably going to take us all weekend. But anyway, so that's it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'm going to wrap up now. So thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next weekend. Cheers.